Welcome to the Dick's Sporting Goods Outdoor Adventure Road Tour.
Thursday morning we roll in at 8 a.m. and we have the entire team converge, the core touring team, all our local and market brand ambassadors, as well as local laborers that we hire to help with the setup process. Chuck Devereaux with the bass tank rolls in Thursday morning, so we all convene at 8 a.m. We meet with the community marketing manager and the store manager. We run the layout by them, make sure it meets their needs and their approval, and then we start the mass setup. So first we unload both trucks and our trailer. So we have the semi-truck, the box truck, and a 12-foot trailer. We unload everything and pre-stage it depending on where we're going to set up the different items. And then we divide up into teams and we start setting up all our different elements with a focus on the sales pavilions, because we want all the sales pavilions and all the fixtures built by noon so that we can turn them over to the store so that they can start their merchandising process. So when we roll into market, all the fixtures are not even assembled. So we are assembling every single fixture and providing all the peg hooks for the store, as well as the cash registers, and getting all that ready so that they can come out, do their merchandising, and the IT professional can come out and set up the cash registers and set up the connection with the store to make sure that our cash registers are communicating with the store cash registers. We set up the pool. Chuck places his bass tank and cleans it out and gets it ready for the water delivery and all the fish. We set up our activity pavilion. We set up our campsite. We place the semi-truck. We get water delivery on Thursday, so we also have to line up 12,000 gallons of water for the pool and another 5,000 gallons for the bass tank. And we need to make sure that water is clean and clear for the fish and for the bass tank. We get all that stuff set up on Thursday. And in addition to that, we start training our local brand ambassadors. So even though we have a core touring team, we have new people that we hire every weekend, and we need to make sure they know what the event's about Dick's Sporting Goods, since that is the brand they're representing, what they're going to be doing, standards of conduct, what they're going to be speaking to consumers about the sale prices, sales items, product training. So we start all our training on Thursday, and the training does flow over into Friday. We clean the site up, and we're usually on site from 8 a.m. until about 5 or 6 p.m. on Thursday. And we also stake everything down. How could I forget the staking? So we have to, all these big elements we have to put these 3/4 inch stakes into the ground and make sure that everything is held down in the event of bad weather. And we take care of all the staking on Thursday also. So Thursday is basically a massive production day with some training thrown in, but getting all the big elements in place. Friday morning we show up around 10 o'clock. Sometimes we have to show up a little bit earlier depending on weather conditions. And we finish setting up areas that still need to be set up, such as the backyard games, the casting lane. We do more training. Now this is more specific product training. So each of the in-market staff members are divided up into the areas where they'll be working, and the team leaders for those areas train them specifically how to run that area, from who can sign the waiver, how the waiver gets signed, who gets the wristbands, to what the road trip grill is, to what the 5 points of contact are in the kayaks, how to safely run consumers through the pool, how to safely run consumers through the shooting range. So there's very specific training going on Friday. And we get everything show ready. We're sweeping out the sales pavilion, making sure there's no garbage on the ground, making sure all the coolers are stocked with water, distributing the uniforms to the in-market staff, and making sure everything looks picture perfect. And can never forget making sure the fence is nice and straight and looks good, and the flags are on top of the trailer, and the free event signs are out. So there's all these little pieces of the puzzle that combine to make our event. So once we finish up the whole production side of it, we take a break, get everybody in their uniforms, and we meet back here at about 3:30, do a roundup pep rally, make sure nobody has any questions, get everybody amped and excited, full of energy and enthusiasm to start the event. And we open the doors at 4 p.m. and we run from 4 until 9. Brian Brody's on site, getting the consumers excited about what's going on, telling them about all the specials we have. And we run till 9. We do a soft close, which means we don't let consumers in anymore, but we finish attending to the consumers that are here. And, if there's any special requests, anybody else that wants to try a boat out, store manager has any special requests, we definitely attend to that. But at 9:30, we start breaking everything down, and that's a partial breakdown. It's just an overnight breakdown. So we roll all the sides down on the tents and roll all the merchandise racks into the tents, make sure nothing's going to be damaged if there's any rain, and flip the boats over and make sure everything that needs to be tarped is tarped, and everything is safe and locked down, and get everything ready for the security guard to come in and watch it for the night. Saturday morning, we show up at 8:30 a.m. on site, and we open the doors to the public at 10 a.m., but we show up at 8:30 to get everything rolled back up and get everything show ready again, and make sure everything's ready to go and open the doors at 10 a.m. and we run from 10 a.m. on Saturday till 9 p.m. at night. Once again, do the close and the partial breakdown. We're back on site Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. for an 11 a.m. opening, and we run from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. and then we do the full breakdown. Everybody who's new meets me back by the truck so I can brief them for the teardown procedures, and all the team leaders actually start working on their areas with any in-market staff members that have worked for us before. So they're kind of starting on their areas, and I'm briefing all the new people everything they need to know for breakdown. From safety, we obviously never want anybody to be hurt, to how they're going to be breaking down their individual areas, and how we're going to start pre-staging the items. As we start breaking down each individual area, we start moving all the elements back to the semi-truck and our box truck, and we start pre-staging items. So we put all the bins together, we put all the tables together, divided by size, we put all the A-frames together, we put all the canopy tents together. So our entire event is broken down into many pieces. We try to pre-stage everything as much as possible, like item with like item, and also the order in which we will load them into the trucks, because the loading process is really extensive. Loading the semi-truck can take 3 hours, box truck can take about 2 hours, and the more organized we are with the pre-staging process, the faster that loading goes. Because believe it or not, that semi-truck is packed to the rim. Every inch is taken up, and it's like a giant puzzle. So you have to make sure that everything is sandwiched in there so it'll fit, and so it's protected, and so that there is no damage market to market. So that's the entire process. So as soon as I brief those new staff members, they go back to their team leaders, help break down the individual areas, and then we start moving to the big items. So once we clean out all the tents, we have to break down the big sale pavilions tents. We need to break down the ultimate campsite, the activity pavilion. We need to pull all the stakes. Chuck's working on his bass tank. He has to take the fish out, empty all the water out, scrub it down, get it ready for transportation. We have to take down the pool, and then we have to drain all the water out of the pool, which takes at least 2 hours. So we drain all the water out of the pool while we're working all of the other elements. The store is de-merchandising all their racks, and then once the store finishes getting all their merchandise off, we actually have to break all the racks down for transport. So there's a pretty extensive process for breakdown, from draining the water to taking the racks down to dropping the tents, to moving everything, to loading everything, to sweeping. We also patch all our stake holes so we don't leave any holes in the parking lot. And when we leave here Sunday night, it looks like we were never even here.